It's a new year and a new me. Uh, no, it's actually the same stuff. Hey there, today I have a CGC unboxing video, and in this video I'm going to open up this bulk shipment order that I submitted to CGC late last year. This is a 9.8 pre-screen. They had a brief window where they offered a steep discount if you sent in 15 comics at a time to CGC. I took advantage of that at the last minute. These books were not pressed, but I do want to give a shout out to Palm Beach presser who encouraged me to go ahead and submit books, reminding me of that discount. So I sent one 9.8 pre-screen directly to CGC. These books were not pressed. I thought that they were 9.8 candidates on their own. And then I did send another batch of 15 through Palm Beach presser, and I hope to get those back very soon and have an unboxing and reveal of those grades when that happens. So I want to get to this unboxing and show you the books that I submitted, where it was a 15 book bulk submission, and I think the discount was $15 for the grading fee. And also, I never look at the grades beforehand. This does appear to be an appropriately sized box for hopefully the majority of them hitting the 9.8, but certainly if there are any books that are rejected, I'll hold those and show you which books didn't make the cut. So let's get this 9.8 pre-screen shipment unboxed. Okay, so they've been using these for probably close to a year now. It's like two-piece giant, like industrial strength bubble wrap. There was no like separate cardboard mailer with rejected books, so hopefully they didn't shove any rejections into one of these. This does make unboxings challenging because when you take the lid off of this plastic contraption, you see the books and the grades, so I'm going to try to not look at these. I'm not going to put this on my head either, and show you the books in random order. Just a quick glance to make sure that the rejection box isn't included. Hopefully it's not, and there is not one. So it looks to be a perfect submission, and that's great. And also, what's nice about a 9.8 pre-screen is I don't have to hide the grades. I can just show you the books that I sent in. And in no particular order, first one is XMen Forever #2, and this is the Art Adams variant. As somebody that grew up on comics in the 70s and 80s and 90s, Art Adams, such a huge influence, and great to see that he continues contributing his talents. And so many of his 1 in 25s often pop great opportunities to pre-order. A lot of times I'll even pre-order these sight unseen. And also kind of fun to group those together in a display. I love doing that with Art Germ covers and modern Art Adams covers as well. Next one is Napalm Lullabi #1. This is a 2024 release. This is the Jeff DeCall variant cover E. I believe this is a 1 in 20, not a 1 in 25. But DeCall is on kind of that short list of mine of cover artists that really doesn't matter what book they're on, and we'll try and track those down. Kind of a similar mindset and approach to those Art Adams books. Next one is Wonder Woman #8, another artist that has been added to my list recently. Joshua Swaby, goes by Swaby Sway. And this was a little tricky. This is the 2024 release. This is the incentive version of an open order cover with the same cover art. And those are always a little bit tricky because if you do enjoy the cover and you're not willing or not able to get the incentive, you can certainly just buy the open order version. And sometimes that detracts from the value and desirability of the incentive when they use the same cover art, but was able to get a copy of that 1 in 25, and it came back a 9.8. Next is Guardians of the Galaxy #1. This I sent in all the Doctor Doom hype with Robert Downey Jr. If you remember these timeless Alex Ross variants, they were all just super awesome. I mean, just Alex Ross on Doctor Doom, you can't beat it. And these were all open order. The incentives were like a sketch edition, and frankly, the black and white sketches were not as refined as the finished Alex Ross painted art cover. But when the Doctor Doom hype train got started and got rolling, this was one that I just kind of had in my backlog. I don't want to say an easy 9/8, but a pretty straightforward. You can open order these, pick the one in the best condition or ones in the best condition and send those in, and that's pretty much what I did here. So while it's labeled a variant edition, this is Guardians of the Galaxy #1 from 2023. This was just an open order Alex Ross Timeless variant. And again, I like to think of themes of putting all of those Alex Ross Timeless books together makes for a really, really cool display. All right, and the last one in this small batch, Spider-Gwen, Go Spider. This is from 2024. This is the Jenny Frison variant cover. I think it just so happens I have one right there behind me. Again, open order cover that also had, I think it was a 1 in 100 full art variant. And what I do with these as I'm placing orders for new books is after about 6 months, maybe give it a full year, sometimes as early as 3 months after release, but you can start to see if any of these books get sent out to CGC, come back, folks put these books up for sale, and I try to target somewhere around like the $35 to $50 range minimum for kind of open order covers to send in, because these are not really going to be in the $100 and up variety. But if you're talking about open order, brand new books, wherever you buy new books, maybe you're getting them at a discount. So this has a $4.99 cover price, but maybe you're able to secure it for $3.99 or $3.50 or something like that. And then when I took advantage of the bulk submission discount and not having these books pressed, you know, maybe you're in for about $25 to get this book end to end in your possession. So looking at that $50 9.8 value, you end up getting close to doubling that initial investment. Of course, I'm kind of rounding up to keep the numbers simple, but hopefully you kind of get the idea. A lot of these will get CGC 9.8s, and then you'll see them sold on eBay for like $24 or something under $30, and the math doesn't really make sense. So I try to look at these and make sure that they have at least somewhere in that $40, $45 range and up. Regardless, awesome book, great Jenny Frison cover on Go Spider #1. Next is, here we go. This is X-Men #2. This is from 2020, and this is a store exclusive featuring cover art by Ji-Hyung Lee. And I bought a 2-pack of the trade and the full art. And the full art was not a 9.8 candidate. I think I had graded that one out around a 9.2, and I ended up selling that one to kind of recover my cost for the set of 2. This one I thought was a gorgeous 9.8 candidate. Love the color scheme here, and I certainly don't mind the issue number, the X-Men logo on this, adding to the overall design. Would have loved to have had the set of 2 in a 9.8, but it is one of those things where what I'm trying to do is, if the book doesn't seem like it's going to grade out, and it's not something that I want to keep raw in my PC, to try and move on from it, add some more space for 9.8s and other books that I want to keep for the long term, and trying to just cut my losses, honestly, on a set like that. Typically, like a full art and trade set, it might run you somewhere around $40, and so I kind of average it out, like 25 for the full art, 15 for the trade. And so if I can sell maybe the full art for somewhere around $15 to $20, and then keep the one with the trade and turn it into a slabbed 9.8, then the numbers seem to make a little bit more sense to me, instead of just holding on to that full art copy, because chances are they're not going to really go up in value on their own, especially if I know it's not a 9.8 candidate. Next is Spider-Man #13. I just kind of pulled this up and was like, oh, here's another one, but I try not to send books that are, I mean, this is technically still a modern, but an older modern, let's say, in a 9.8 pre-screen. This actually, I have to stop here. I'm actually pretty excited about this, because I do collect the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man #1 homage covers. This he homaged himself. and you always need to be careful when you're homaging yourself. You don't want to homage yourself a little too much. But I kept getting 9.6s on this one and finally have a 9.8, so that's super awesome. Again, this book was not pressed, it was simply sent in as is. I don't know if Todd is going to be doing another CGC Signature Series event this year. The last time he was there was really epic, and the books took a long time because I think it was their largest Signature Series event ever. But we'll definitely set this aside and send this his way and add it to my wall of Spider-Man #1 homages. So finally, I can stop chasing this one, Spider-Man 13 from 1991, getting CGC 9.8 in this pre-screen. So very cool. Love that. Next is Sensational She-Hulk #3 from 2024. And this is the Michael Cho variant cover. And while I don't chase these, every time I do see a Cho variant, I really do like them. I like the kind of pop art style, the really, and I mean this in a very complimentary manner, but the simplistic line art and the coloring. He just has a fantastic grasp for like anatomy, size, and perspective. And I picked up a number of these that, again, what I'm hoping one day is to go through these slabs and look at the themes and display the themes together. And I think, once I have a nice set of 6, 9, 12 of these to put together, it really makes for kind of an interesting display. So really love this She-Hulk cover. And you definitely want to check out other variant covers by Michael Cho. Super awesome. Next is Jackpot and Black Cat #1. And this is the Pablo Villalobos cover. He is another, I was going to say up-and-coming artist, but I think he's already arrived. People are definitely aware of him and his style. I would say he has a unique style, but it also does remind me a little bit of kind of an evolved Adam Hughes style, but still kind of unique to his own, and is one of the top modern artists putting out covers. He'll do Marvel, DC, and store exclusives. He's also done some independents. I have a number of Something is Killing the Children store exclusives with Lobos covers or Villalobos covers. And this one looks great. This is Jackpot and Black Cat #1, released in 2024. All right, next is... I think I sent in one of the COAs with one of the books, so I'll hold that for just a second. This is Ghost Rider #7 from 2022. This is the Maria Wolf variant cover. This is an open order cover, and I think I'm just repeating myself, but to keep the explanation brief, again, looking at themes, looking at great modern cover artists, I think my only regret is that she had a Signature Series event and I did not participate and just completely missed it. And I have a number of her covers that I really do like. This is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, and would have loved to have picked this up and gotten it signed with the yellow label. So I'll keep my eye out and make sure I don't miss her again if she has another signing event. And I think I submitted 2 of those, and I did. So another Ghost Rider #7. This one also falls in the category of the Spider-Gwen, Jenny Frison open order. This was a book, although this has a little bit more data, now 2 to 3 years old with that 2022 release, so I can see more sales data, and again, falls into that $40 to $60 9.8 that makes sense when I pre-ordered those at a discount, open order. I used to do those videos where I would kind of describe, these are the books that I'm targeting, this is like my top 10 or top 25 books that I would like to pre-order for a given week. And I used to just pick those off, order 2 or 3 copies, find the 9.8 candidates, submit them. And again, they're not going to be as valuable and as more of an investment piece because they're brand new books and so many new books get slabbed. So a lot of times I'll do that with these books. And if you are able to do this often enough, then you're able to add some pretty good value to your collection overall. All right, this is the book that came with this COA. CGC was nice enough to submit it. And again, I guess the spoiler by CGC, they put the sticker on here that said 15 books. That normally that sticker is on the outside of the rejections pile. But I had sent in this Scorpion Comics limited to 2,500 copies COA of this book. Disney Comics and... Hold on a second. Oh, man. Okay. How about that? Huh? Look at that. It's a 9.9. I should have sent it in my 9.9 pre-screen. I've sent in so many 9.9 pre-screens, and I get all of the books back rejected. It's crazy, but I just love doing that for fun. Oh my goodness, what a nice surprise. This book, there are some other variants to this one. It's a little bit of a dark cover, a little mysterious cover. Mickey Mouse there in the shadows. Gabriel Dell'Otto, one of the more popular cover artists, but also his style is to render images that appear a little bit more in the shadows. Some may argue it's a little bit too dark. A lot of his Batman covers, sometimes they're hard to see, and yes, that's part of the appeal here, is that this is Mickey Mouse, so it really kind of draws your eye to the book. And it got a 9.9 mint. That is amazing. This is my second 9.9 ever, and I'll be honest, when I sent this book in, I wasn't exactly even sure if I should include it in the 9.8 pre-screen, but looking at it in the case, it looks pristine. It's so cool. So this is limited to 2,500. This is technically the Scorpion Comics Virgin Foil Edition. And how about that? A 9.9. Was not expecting this. So that's really something. And what's cool is, yes, it's a comic book. Yes, it's slabbed by CGC. But if you're a Disney fan, now this kind of crosses over into potentially attracting Disney collectors to this. So it's another reason I sent it in. So how about that? Really, really nice surprise in that 9.8 pre-screen to get a 9.9. Wow, very cool. All right, let's see. It's going to be hard to top that. I've got 3 more books to go. Next is Wolverine number 174. This book I was seeking out, specifically David Finch. I think I probably say this about 100 different artists. One of my favorite artists, but certainly from that 90s era, the up-and-coming 90s era, and then him really blossoming into a mainstream mega superstar artist. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll go back and do some research about those like mid to late 90s, early 2000s artists, just to kind of see some of the other work that they've done. This is a really cool Wolverine cover. And yeah, it got the 9.8. And if you're chasing a particular artist or a particular style, I mean, this book is a couple of bucks. Really easy to find. Nothing super rare. So happy to get that in a 9.8 to add to my David Finch illustrated comic collection. And next we have Green Lantern number 50. This is from 1994, along the same lines as that SpiderMan 13. I typically don't send these books in for a 9.8 pre-screen, but really couldn't see any reason to get this one pressed. It looked really good on its own. And this was a book that, as I was going through a short box of my personal collection, this is a book that I specifically bought myself back in 1994. And I remember first getting into Green Lantern with this Emerald Twilight storyline, and this is technically the first appearance of Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern. It also states the death of Kilowog, Sinestro, and Oa, and it's a glow-in-the-dark cover. Gotta love the 90s specialty cover, all the gimmicks that they ended up adding to their covers to boost sales and attract folks to comics. And this is also a double-sized 48-page issue, and always fun to get a book that I've saved this entire time since I originally purchased it from my LCS back in 1994. And here we are a little over 30 years later, and it got a 9.8 professionally graded. So a shout out and a callback to my younger self. Really took care of these books and kept them preserved in great condition, and now officially preserved by CGC in a slab. The last one is Detective Comics 858. This is part of a run where Detective Comics was featuring Batwoman, and I actually fell in love with the storyline, the character, and also the J.H. Williams art. So a really great creative team, Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams III. and really enjoyed this run of Detective Comics featuring Batwoman, went into her origin. And if you go back around this issue number of 858 and look at some of the really interesting and dynamic and innovative covers by J.H. Williams III, they all hold up today when you compare those covers with some of the modern artists that I mentioned. This is from 2009, also a book from my own personal collection where I bought this most likely through a Midtown Comics subscription, as that's how I was collecting online back in 2009. And that is book 15 of this 15 out of 15 perfect CGC 9.8 pre-screen submission. Really glad that I sent in these 15 books getting the discount. It was another reason why maybe a few of these are on the lower end of a CGC 9.8 value, but had some meaning for me, and then frankly made sense to get that additional roughly $5 off per book in terms of the grading fee, and got my second ever CGC 9.9. So pretty good start to the new year, I would say. A really nice CGC submission. I have more CGC submissions in transit that I hope to be receiving soon that I'll share with you, and also get back on track with my Raw unboxing videos. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for watching. Happy collecting, and see you next time.